Better Get the Carol has recovered over $15.7 million.
Right now at 6, new developments in the killing of a man in the Bronx. Sources telling News 4 he was beaten to death over unpaid rent. What we know about the 2 people now in custody. Plus,
bring them home! Bring them home!
Demonstrators rally in Central Park after Hamas releases a video of an Israeli-American hostage from New Jersey. But first, we are expecting record-breaking holiday travel numbers as the post-Thanksgiving holiday rush is on. Thanks so much for joining us at 6. I'm Jen Maxfield. Rana has the night off. The post-Thanksgiving travel is in full swing, and it is expected to be treacherous for some parts of the country, as heavy snowfall is also causing travel problems for parts of New York and Pennsylvania. We have live team coverage for you tonight. We want to begin with News 4's Ida Siegel. She is inside LaGuardia Airport, where, Ida, looks like things are moving pretty smoothly there.
They are, Jen. Thankfully, these are the people who want to just soak up every last minute they could with their friends and family coming home on the evening of Sunday after Thanksgiving. And take a look at the departures area of Terminal B here at LaGuardia, and you'll see there are a fair number of people who did plan their trip that way, but these folks say they are prepared for the inevitable lines. LaGuardia Airport with no shortage of travelers tonight. It is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, after all, and according to the TSA, it's one of the busiest times during the season. They expect to screen a total of 3 million people.
It's been surprisingly seamless for me. I did get to the airport early, both on my departure and today, to decrease the stress.
As they said, this is great for holiday travel. This is not the worst that it could be, so very thankful for that.
We found some lines at the airport, but we also found grateful passengers because the lines were moving. This is a pretty long line you're waiting on.
Right, but I mean, it's Thanksgiving weekend. I'm leaving on Sunday, so to be expected.
That's not terrible.
It's moving.
One time we almost missed our flight here.
Because of the crowds.
Yeah, so we were a little extra careful today.
Yeah, you can't get mad at a line that's moving. And one note, all of these people who are so calm that we spoke to tonight did come extra early to the airport. So that's obviously key here. Also, I want to tell you, I just checked out the boards, and it looks like almost all flights leaving LaGuardia are on time. So hopefully people will have a smooth trip home. It's very latest reporting live from LaGuardia Airport. Ida Siegel, News 4, New York.
All right, that's some good news, Ida. Thank you. Well, the snow totals for parts of New York are almost reaching 50 inches. Let's check in with Storm Team 4's Matt Brickman. Matt, more than 4 feet of snow?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, Jen. We saw the snow, the lake effect snow, begin back on Thanksgiving, and it really hasn't let up much since then. Close to 4 feet in parts of western New York. Copenhagen with 46 inches. Same thing for Barnes Corner. You can see a spot like Watertown, over 3 feet of snow. And Orchard Park, that might sound familiar, with nearly 2 feet of snow on the ground. They're going to try to play football there tonight for the Bills game right here on Sunday Night Football. And I'll show you, you can see that snow still lingering in the area and might be flying during the game tonight. A cold one as San Francisco comes to town. Temperatures in the low 20s. Look for snow to kind of be floating by through the area, and plenty of snow still in the stands. We've also got a cold night here in the city. It's 35. Winds are settling down a bit after a breezy day, but wind chills in the low 30s and a pretty chilly stretch ahead of us as highs are about 10 degrees below average through the middle of the week. And we are watching a chance of rain and snow by Wednesday night. We'll have more on that in your exclusive 10-day forecast coming up. Jen.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, a powerful lake effect snowstorm dumped some 30 inches of snow in Erie, Pennsylvania. Check out this video. Officials say the Pennsylvania National Guard is helping stranded drivers and getting essential health care workers to their jobs. Non-essential businesses have been asked to close to keep people off the roads. Warming shelters have been set up, and officials say that plows have been brought in from across the state. And here's the scene just outside Buffalo, where Bills fans are helping to shovel out snow for tonight's Sunday Night Football game with the San Francisco 49ers, which, of course, you can see right here on NBC4 New York. Governor Kathy Hochul says that crews are working to clear snowy roads ahead of kickoff in Orchard Park. On Friday, she declared a state of emergency for several western and upstate New York counties because of all of that snow. Well, as our temperatures drop, now's a great time to download the Storm Team 4 app. Our team of meteorologists will send any important alerts straight to your smartphone so that you can be prepared. We have new information tonight. Police have 2 people in custody in connection to a man beaten to death over unpaid rent. Police say it happened last night in the Throgs Neck section of the Bronx. Sources now telling News 4 a landlord and another person are accused of beating up 30-year-old Christopher Samaru. This happening at a home off the Throgs Neck Expressway. Cops say Samaru died at a nearby hospital. The NYPD is trying to find whoever shot a man in Astoria, Queens early this morning and ran into another man with a vehicle while driving away. Officers got the call just before 4:30 around 20th Avenue and Steinway Street. The shooting victim is a 24-year-old man who is recovering, though investigators tell us he's being highly uncooperative. A 25-year-old man hit by that vehicle that took off is also recovering. A neighbor who heard the gunfire says people in the area have been noticing trouble for a while, and he believes that a nearby nightclub may be a factor.
It's frustrating to the neighbors. There's a 90-year-old lady that lives right next to the club. People are always bringing bottles in front of her house. She never gets any sleep. People are stressed out here. They've complained a lot. Nothing's happened yet. We really hope that the place something can be worked out. Where every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're not waking everybody up at 3 and 4 a.m.
Police have not released any details on who the shooter might be or the vehicle involved. On Long Island, a hockey game ended in heartbreak yesterday after a 17-year-old boy collapsed on the ice and died. Massapequa High School announced the player's name today, senior Connor Kaysen. Police say Kaysen was playing in a charity hockey game in Bethpage when he collapsed during intermission. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. The Massapequa school superintendent sent a letter to families offering his condolences to Kaysen's family and friends, and he added grief counseling would be available to students and staff this week. The hockey game was a fundraiser in the name of another Massapequa high schooler, Sabrina Navarrete, who died in a crash in April of last year. Well, dozens of protesters coming out to Central Park today calling for the remaining hostages being held by Hamas to be released. It comes a day after Hamas released a video of an Israeli-American soldier, Idan Alexander from New Jersey. His father tonight urging the White House to respond. News 4's Jessica Cunnington explains.
Bring them home!
On the west side of Central Park, you could hear the weekly rally calling for the release of all remaining hostages held in Gaza.
Bring them home!
And on the first day of a new month, there is new hope for Idan Alexander's father.
We never saw him before this moment.
The 20-year-old Israeli-American hostage from Tenafly, New Jersey, was seen in this video released by Hamas yesterday.
Dear President Trump, my name is Idan Alexander.
And it was the first time his parents have seen his face in more than 400 days since he was captured on October 7th while serving in the Israeli military.
That was exciting on one hand, but it was really disturbing on the other hand.
Idan, likely under duress in the video, urges the president-elect to strike a deal that will free the hostages. At the end, Idan tells his family he misses them.
He spoke well. He looked okay, a little bit pale. And the last moment of this video was really emotional and genuine, and that's the important thing for us.
And to the large crowd here Sunday morning,
this is not a moment for politics or hesitations.
An urgent call for a ceasefire deal and asking President Biden and President-elect Trump to both do their part.
All the terms are there. So the parties, it's really a political will that all the parties, they need to lean forward.
We are working actively to try to make it happen. We are engaged deeply with the key players in the region, and there is activity even today. There will be further conversations and consultations, and our hope is that we can generate a ceasefire and hostage deal, but we're not there yet.
Until a deal is reached, this group will continue to rally and march in Central Park. Adi says his family hasn't been celebrating holidays, but he is praying for the day he can hug his son again.
Yesterday he told us to stay strong, so my message back to him, you stay strong, survive, and we're coming for you.
Jessica Cunnington, News 4, New York.
Meanwhile, in the Middle East, 3 World Central Kitchen workers died in an Israeli airstrike in southern Gaza yesterday. The nonprofit says 3 of their local contractors were killed. The Israeli military claims one of the workers in the car that was struck took part in the October 7th terror attacks. WCK pushed back on this claim in a statement, writing it had incomplete information and was urgently seeking more details. The organization says it is pausing operations in Gaza. Still ahead on News 4 at 6, a red light camera program on Long Island has come to an end, where the changes have already started. Plus, Cyber Monday sales have already kicked off. We're getting a look at just how much Americans are spending this holiday season. On Long Island, red light cameras have gone dark for good in Suffolk County. They generated tens of millions of dollars in revenue each year, but the cameras faced criticism from those who thought they were just another way to bring in money rather than make the streets any safer. Supporters pointed to studies they say prove drivers were being more careful as a result, but critics argued the number of overall accidents actually increased because of rear-end crashes at intersections. More than 200 cameras had been in place across the county since the program began in 2010. Happening tomorrow in Lower Manhattan, closing arguments are expected in the Daniel Penny trial. Penny is the former Marine accused of killing Jordan Neely on an F train last year. 30-year-old Neely was a Michael Jackson impersonator and was homeless at the time. He was acting erratically on the train when prosecutors say Penny put him in a chokehold that led to his death. But a forensic pathologist for the defense disagrees, saying a combination of things killed Neely. He had a sickle cell trait, and the expert believes that played a bigger part in his death than prosecutors suggest. The prosecutor showed a video from a bystander where a witness can be heard calling out to Penny, quote, "He's dying, you need to let him go," end quote. News 4 will be in the courtroom tomorrow and will bring you the very latest on this case all day. Well, we are about 15 minutes away from nightly news. Hallie Jackson joins us now with a sneak peek at what's coming up. Hallie, hope you're having a great Thanksgiving weekend.
You too, Jen. Thank you. And coming up tonight, we've got a lot for you, including football fans digging out in Buffalo as that monster snowstorm threatens tonight's game. Plus, why police used pepper spray to break up a brawl on the field after the Ohio State-Michigan game. And our inside look at Walmart's new fulfillment center and how it's getting ready for Cyber Monday. Plus, we'll show you the moment when more than a dozen kids got the gift of family this week, with Santa making an appearance. Those stories and more ahead on Nightly News. Jen, if you can't tell, it is officially the holiday season. We'll send it back to you.
I just looked out the window and saw the tree right here at 30 Rock. I know what you mean, Hallie. Thanks so much. All right, well, coming up, making charitable giving as easy as buying a soda, where you can find these giving machines this week. And the freezing temperatures have arrived to New York City. Storm Team 4 is back with your 10-day forecast next. The holiday shopping season continues tomorrow on Cyber Monday. Experts say it could be another record-breaking day. The early numbers for online sales on Black Friday were almost $11 billion. Experts tell us that deals will be best for apparel and electronics tomorrow. And during the season of giving, charities are making helping people as simple as visiting a vending machine in Times Square. Instead of buying a snack, these machines allow you to buy an item for someone in need. The money goes to a number of charities to help people around the world or just around the corner. Prices range from $7 to $200. They go to anything from livestock and vaccines to groceries, school supplies, even Metro cards. The giving machines will start taking donations tomorrow, just in time for Giving Tuesday, and they will be up through January 1st. I love this idea. It's so convenient, and you get the opportunity to help somebody.
Yeah, kind of a fun way to do it, too.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you're waiting in one of those lines the next couple of days, make sure you are bundled up.
Yes.
We've got some cold air here already, and it is going to stay cold for the next couple of days. You know, we just started December. Maybe you're hoping for a little bit of an ease into winter. No, that's not happening. We were only at 38 for a high this afternoon. Pretty much everybody stuck in the upper 30s. And you might be thinking, Yeah, it's December, it's winter, it's supposed to be cold. Yes, I agree with you, except it's not supposed to be this cold this soon. Average high on December 1st is 49. We were only at 38 today, which is actually colder than our average high at the coldest point of the year in mid-January. So a bit ahead of schedule here. And then we had the winds to contend with, which were moving at a pretty good clip, 20 to 35 miles an hour throughout the day today, and they were strongest in Central Park. Thankfully, they've calmed down a bit since then, not really moving at Merrick, Poughkeepsie, Sussex, or Belmar, only 5 to 10 between Central Park and out through Newark. So we'll be relatively calm through the remainder of the night. Just a few clouds out there, otherwise kind of clear and quiet. We're at 35, but plenty of spots cold in that. White Plains at 33, 30 in Islip. It's 28 in Sussex and 28 in Monticello. And we will fall into the 20s overnight in the city. Sun's up at 7:02. It'll feel maybe mid-20s early in the morning, and tomorrow's high looks a lot like today. It will be less breezy, so that's a bit of an improvement, but still a very cold December day. So we'll start in the 20s. You can see as we move through the afternoon, the wind chill temperatures are pretty close to the air temperatures. It's not terribly windy. There are some exceptions where it feels maybe 5 to 10 degrees cooler. But then heading into Tuesday morning, kind of more of the same. Wind chills in the teens and 20s across the tri-state as we are stuck in the cold. Now, let's jump ahead to Wednesday night. The tree lighting here in Rockefeller Center. We should be around 40 degrees for a high on Wednesday with clouds and a southwest winds. That will keep temperatures holding pretty steady. But as we move later into the night, close to midnight, there's a chance for a couple of snowflakes to move through. And that is our only chance of rain or snow this week. Could linger to a few showers early on Thursday morning. We clear out and get even colder into the day on Friday. 34 isn't going to feel anywhere even close to that warm on Friday. Gusts over 30 miles an hour. So that is probably the coldest day I've got for you over the next week. And it stays chilly into next weekend.
All right, well, we'll bundle up for the tree lighting on Wednesday, the all-important tree lighting. Matt, thank you so much. And Bruce Beck's here to look at sports.
Well, Jen, the Jets returned from the bye week with some juice in the first quarter. But in the end, it was the same old Jets. Coming up in sports, penalties and miscues spelled doom for Gang Green as Aaron Rodgers is unable to lift the Jets to a victory at MetLife Stadium. We've got the story in a moment.
The Spectrum Sports Desk is brought to you by Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum.
The Jets return from their bye week needing to run the table to keep any hopes alive for a playoff push. Gang Green hosting Seattle, looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. The Jets dominated the first quarter as Aaron Rodgers threw 2 short touchdown passes. It was 14-0 after 1. Things were looking good. And after Seattle cut it to 14-7, Kene Nwanwu, in his Jets debut, brings back the ensuing kickoff 90 yards. Just like that. It was 21-7 Jets. Things looking up. Moments later, Seattle fumbled the kickoff, and the Jets had a chance to blow it open, but Rodgers' pass gets deflected and picked off by former Jet Leonard Williams, who takes it back 92 yards to cut the lead to 21-13. The Jets imploded in the fourth quarter, and on the game-winning drive by Seattle, committed 4 costly penalties. Zach Charbonnet punches it in from the 8. Any hope of a Jet? The Big Cat was a one-man wrecking crew as Gang Green clinches a 9th straight losing season, 26-21.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, what else can you say? You know, we've had a lot of chances in these situations. A lot of these games come down to one play, and whether you make it or miss it.
It's not okay. You know, it's not acceptable. It's not our standard. Penalties ultimately extend drives. It's hard. You know, it's a true test of every man in that locker room and every coach in that locker room. So we got to respond. It's our only choice.
In the NBA tonight, the Knicks and Pelicans are underway at the Garden. This afternoon, the Nets faced the Magic at Barclays Center. It was tied at 83 midway through the fourth quarter when Kentavious Caldwell-Pope buries the wide-open corner triple to put Orlando on top for good. The Magic beat the Nets for the second time in 3 days, 192. And finally, we say goodbye to Lou Carnesecca, who packed a lot of magic into his 99 years on Earth. When he passed last night, I cried my eyes out, but later was able to turn the sadness into gratitude. Yes, I was one of the lucky ones. I was touched by his kindness. He was my confidant and dear friend. I was fortunate to host his coaches show on MSG Network for 7 years. It was one of the best experiences of my broadcasting career as we welcomed St. John's finest players, legends of the game, and even some big-time politicians. For the last 46 years, I was blessed to be on the receiving end of his phone calls when he would wish me a happy birthday, a happy New Year, even a happy Passover. I will miss those calls almost as much as I will miss him. Louis was a Hall of Fame coach. More importantly, he was a Hall of Fame person and a New York sports treasure. Jen, there's no doubt that heaven just got one heck of a man and one heck of a coach.
I know you were really close with him, and I feel that emotion, Bruce, but he must have been so special to have touched you and so many people in that way.
He was an amazing man.
Thank you for sharing your memories with all of us. But we'll be right back. The Mega Millions jackpot is now $541 million. The cash prize is $257.6 million. No ticket matched all 6 numbers from Friday night's drawing, so the next drawing is set for Tuesday. Well, you noticed if you went outside that almost winter chill in the air. Matt, how's it looking?
Yeah, more of the same as we head back into the week. A cold night, down below freezing. Temperatures struggle to get out of the 30s tomorrow. Will be less windy than we had today, so that's an improvement. More clouds Wednesday, and then maybe a flurry or a sprinkle overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. Otherwise, just a cold stretch ahead.
All right, get out the jackets. Matt, thank you. Bruce, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Nightly News is next, and we'll all see you for the news at 11. Have a great night.
Tonight, the monster snowmaker dumping up to 6 feet of snow around the Great Lakes on one of the busiest travel days ever. Unrelenting snow pounding